let alone someone with dimples like those, for God's sake, woman.
And you're very well...
When you laugh like that, it makes me know what you'd sound like when you come.
Why worry? Why bother? Why should we take conjugal rights when we could have marital nights, coital fireworks dancing between our thighs?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how Russell Brand has mastered the art of flirting with women. For those of you who aren't new to the channel, you'll know that I am a massive fan of Russell Brand, and I even went to Edinburgh, Scotland to see him live in 2018 for his Rebirth tour. So I'm super excited to release this video. I've been trawling the internet, finding all of my favorite clips from Russell Brand, and I've been studying them in great detail, and I've come up with what I believe to be the 5 key elements that make Russell Brand so unbelievably charismatic and in turn so amazing with women. I'm going to reveal these 5 elements to you in a very specific sequence that will all lead to the end of the video where I reveal what makes Russell Brand such a uniquely charismatic person. I've been working hard to put as much value as possible into this video, guys, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you enjoy the content, it'd be awesome if you could hit that subscribe button. So with that, let's get into it. Number 1, he is unashamedly himself.
Wait, you got fired from MTV, right? You were the first person that got fired, I think, from MTV. How did that happen?
When I was a crack and heroin addict, I made some unusual decisions. I challenge any of you to take crack and heroin and see how it affects your personal, private and professional life.
So you said that you knew you were going to be famous, right? That's what I read in the book, that you knew you were going to be famous, but you were afraid that it was going to have a traumatic effect. Is that, am I misquoting?
What I think it was, is I was an only child, I was an insecure little fella, and I thought that if I didn't become famous, there was no way that I was going to feel any sense of connection or happiness. I was a nervous little lad. I'm very grateful that I did become famous, because otherwise I don't think I'd have ever had the confidence to talk to anyone, let alone someone with dimples like those, for God's sake, woman.
And you're very well...
Russell Brand is an open book and doesn't try and be anybody that he's not. He understands that he's had a checkered past and he's made some mistakes, but he's accepted that, he knows he's human, and he actually leans into it rather than trying to cover it up with some fake facade. This allows him to be both vulnerable and confident at the same time. Russell's an expert at the push and pull. He floats seamlessly from serious conversations to joking conversations to flirtatiousness. Notice that the anchor was a little bit uptight when she started asking Russell the question. So what Russell does is he puts her at ease by gently and subtly putting a hand on her shoulder. This is obviously very disarming, and then he goes into a touching anecdotal spiel about him being insecure when he was younger, whilst also giving the host who asked the question his near undivided attention. This causes her and the other panelists to let their guard down. With these few factors in mind, he now has them in the palm of his hands and he strikes while the iron's hot. He takes the opportunity to go from serious conversation to flirtatiousness by giving her a compliment, but it's not any compliment, it's a very specific compliment. He compliments a specific feature of her face, which is her dimples, rather than just saying you look beautiful. This makes her feel uniquely special, and you can see in her reaction that she really enjoys the compliment. But it doesn't end there, because what he then does is he reinforces the compliment. A lot of the time, if people give compliments, especially in public when other people are listening, they'll get a bit self-conscious about it and they might get a bit awkward or try and divert the attention. Russell doesn't do that. He sits in the moment and does this prolonged seductive gaze to reinforce the compliment, like he's in awe of her. Number 2, he has the ability to act very feminine, which allows him to say outrageous things. And don't take my word for it, here's Russell telling you exactly how and why he does it.
In spite of appearances, I'm a heterosexual man.
Congratulations. And the...
People think, because I'm so well dressed, people think he must be gay.
No.
Look at his wonderful haircut, he must be gay. Look how sensitive and vulnerable he is, he must be gay.
That's right.
That means women feel safe around me, they trust me, then bang, pregnant, bang, pregnant, bang, pregnant. No, I'm glad you did it, actually, because during that... You're wearing suspenders. Jesus. I've bitten off more than I can chew, I'm out on the deck. Yes, I have been in other films, but it doesn't seem so important now that I know Lorraine Kelly's a slut.
Wait, you said clean from drugs and alcohol. What about sex addiction?
Yeah, what about that? Shagger of the year.
Now listen, you'll have me stripped to my title and I'll have you stripped to your tights.
Now, it doesn't take a genius to understand that Russell Brand is actually a very effeminate man. He certainly has a style all to his own, and he dresses in a very feminine way at times, but he's a very stylish man, and he definitely pulls it off. And this effeminate nature would also elucidate the fact that he's not a threat. People would feel more safe in his presence. When he says these things that would normally be inappropriate coming out of somebody's mouth, he does it in a very feminine way. He leans back, he assumes a very non-threatening body language, and even sometimes he has these upwards inflections in his voice. His voice goes up a few octaves.
Shagger of the year.
Now listen.
He also doesn't make too much eye contact, which takes the intensity out of the moment. Now imagine him saying exactly what he just said,
Now that I know Lorraine Kelly's a slut.
but with a deeper voice, leaning forward and making heaps of eye contact. Number 3, he is fun. Russell creates genuine friendships with women and they love being around him because he's just so much fun. This is exemplified by the relationship that he's created with Fifi Box, who's an Australian TV presenter. Much flirting has gone on over the years, but they have a genuine friendship and the flirtatiousness has just become a part of that. You can tell that Fifi has a real soft spot for Russell and she genuinely enjoys being around him.
What are you?
Fifi Box. When you laugh like that, it makes me know what you'd sound like when you come. And I like it. Is this morning telly?
Yeah.
So you can't put that in.
About 7 a.m. So people just...
Hey viewers, that's what Fifi sounds like when she comes. Enjoy your breakfast, you perverts.
Do you, you've thrown me, but
Don't worry.
I love that you're throwing me.
If you're ever so confused, Fifi Box, pop yourself down on my knee and see if we can't get you pregnant.
Excellent, and my mum's not watching this morning, so that's a good thing too.
Why is your mum not watching? What's she got on?
Oh no, she's busy. She's away with a friend at the moment.
Bring her in. I'll take the lot of yous.
Once again, you've done this.
Come on,
again.
what do you want to know?
That's everything I want to know. I want to know.
Do you want me to come over there to you?
No, it's okay.
Come over.
Oh wow!
Look at that noise. Fifi Box. Dun dun dun. Come on.
Oh my God, he's kissing me. Oh
There.
wow! Okay.
Everything's okay, isn't it?
Yes, you're very
You create
handsome.
a lot of heat.
I know, because you're quite handsome.
Quite
and you're
good looking, aren't I?
You're very good looking, and you're engaged, and I'm aware of that. And she's a beautiful woman.
She's lovely, isn't she?
She's gorgeous.
This is all right, though. I'm allowed to sit on people's laps.
Are you? Can I put my hands there?
Yep, that's allowed as well. Come in here. There, it's all okay.
Dear. Oh,
it's all
dear.
going to be all alright. I'm just releasing the spores. There you go. Fifi Box is pregnant now.
Oh wow! Oh, and
Mwah.
oh, good. That's very good.
Nice,
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
it?
lovely. That was so lovely. I just turned my cheek too. That was very professional of me. It's such a beautiful chapter at the end written about your betrothed, and it was honestly, you brought a tear to my eye because beneath the, you know.
Fifi, if I cannot summon moisture in you, I'm not doing my job properly. That's all I've ever wanted as a writer.
Now, Russ, I'm nervous to ask this, but you did say at the start of the year that you were considering attempting celibacy. Is that something that you have continued with?
What time do you finish work?
See, the non-threatening nature of Russell allows for people to let down their barriers and have a laugh and a joke about things that would normally be off limits in regular conversations. Even though he does talk about sexual things, he doesn't do it in a way that's sleazy. And this is demonstrated by the reactions of the women that he interacts with. They don't just laugh, they belly laugh and they curl over laughing. Generally, if you're interacting with a girl and you're getting that sort of a reaction, things are going really well. And he does this effortlessly. And also you can see the dynamics that are happening in these interactions. Look how feminine they become in his presence. It's like they just let their guard down, they let him take control of the conversation and they just follow his lead happily. Number 4, he flirts with everybody.
Sorry mate, your mic's gone down, go have to
What
sort
about
your
this
microphone,
one? That's it, go on.
How are you going to do this? This is interesting.
He's much more comfortable with male intimacy since he become a dancer, isn't he? And that Paul Strudel, and you're going to get felt up by a bald geezer. No, that's not on my contract.
It's some kind of landscape. What do you mean? Well, it's just got a lot going on.
What's going on your landscape?
My landscape is extreme.
A little bit of sunburn, a little holiday activity of the chest. A quick glance at your audience would reveal to me that it's full of very promiscuous people. They will therefore know these gigolos and sluts will be well aware that, say you like sleeping with different people, if you go home, you go out and you leave them in your bed, if when you come home they've made your bed, you think, oh.
You did it with Joy and Elizabeth.
Yes, I came here. You were kind enough to contribute and do a scene for that movie. Well, it was very, very enjoyable. You're an incredibly professional group of women, and I feel a combination of relaxed and aroused in your company.
Because we're talking about sex and shag, and you
look nice.
Thank you so much, Russell. I appreciate that.
I like these sort of gladiator high-heeled shoes you're wearing, and I like your legs. Now, I understand you've been celibate for a while. When are you going to give that up?
Nothing you can't finish, Russell.
I assure you, this is an area in which I'm confident. I am not bluffing. I I will take care of you. I will make you see multicoloured. I'll make you forget your own name. It'll be wonderful. She seems quite keen, I think, Barbara.
She does.
You've got all dressed up. You've got me worked up. Now, come on.
I was good, you know, okay, this is really,
It doesn't matter their gender or what they look like, Russell makes the effort to flirt with everybody. Sexuality is just a part of his persona, and he'll be open and unpredictable with any audience. Now, the ladies from The View are not going to be found on any posters on any teenage boys' walls, but Russell flirts with them anyway. And interestingly, notice some of the parallels here between the way he flirts with this host as compared to the last one on The View. Once again, he focuses his near undivided attention on this specific host. This again would make her feel really special because there are lots of other girls around, but he's just focusing on her. And then once again, he gives the disarming touch on the shoulder before leaning in and giving a compliment, but a compliment that's specific. He compliments her boots and her legs. And you can see once again, her reaction's absolutely priceless. And then interestingly, he looks for the approval of her friends. Now, if you guys have ever been on a night out and you've gotten chatting to some lovely ladies, you'll know that the direction of your night can often hinge upon the approval of her friends. So that's an interesting little dynamic at play there. You know what they say, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. Number 5, he is an absolute master of freestyling and improvising. And this is where the true genius of Russell comes in. The first 4 points are things that you definitely can use in your own life, and in some way or another, you'd be able to try and implement that in your own interactions. But this is something that you just can't teach.
You was on telly in my country when I was a teenage boy. It messed me up.
In what way?
I think you're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, Russell. It's very kind of you.
It ain't kind. It's just a bit rude.
Any truth to the rumour that you're going to be in the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie? Can you tell us? Can you give us a Weekend Sunrise scoop?
I'll give you a Weekend Sunrise scoop, young lady. I'm going to scoop you like you've never been scooped before. I'm going to scoop you up in my arms and carry off to a world of wonder where you forget your own name. But I won't forget it. It's Sam, the gorgeous morning sunrise Sunday sexy woman for teenage boys.
How come you've turned up here dressed in this fashion?
It's hot. I don't know if you've noticed.
Well, I haven't, no. This is how I dress for Hawaii. Elegantly, like an English knight.
Yeah, well, I prefer to dress like a hooker, so
Harry,
you know.
if you dress like a hooker, people will treat you like a hooker, and I haven't got any money on me. Now, you, young lady, are the kind of thing you're the reason I went through puberty for women like you.
Oh, thanks. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
It's not going to get any better than this. That's it. You've peaked. Carpe diem. Seize the moment. You know what awaits us? The grave. All we have now is this moment. The being good at sex. This is what I do for a living. The comedy's very much a front for my sexual antics. I only do that to facilitate opportunities like this. Opportunities that I'm not going to let slip through my fingers, although you will slip through my fingers over the course of the next few hours. When I make bells ring in your stomach, when I make your eyes dance like fire, when I make you forget your name, which I'll never do, carry, carry, carry. A word that rhymes with marry. But why worry? Why bother? Why should we take conjugal rights when we could have marital nights, coital fireworks dancing between our thighs? Let me be shipwrecked with you. Let me be a pirate king. Let us dance subaquatically. Let us lose our identities in a glorious union. Our two nations aren't so different. If we can attack Iraq, let's attack back. Let's open each other up. Let's orgasm. Let's spasm. Let's fire.
Can you
Why
attack
deny
this
her?
rap?
Yeah, that is a... Yeah, I mean, I must say that's part of the attraction.
Oh, good. I think they've brought countries together.
Well, what they've done is they've torn me apart.
I kind of like you a whole lot.
Narina's favourite things are red, red wine and chocolate. But say that you had to join an army and either fight for the red wine side or the chocolate side, which army would you join?
Be the red wine.
You'd be in the red wine side, because they'd be much more confident, wouldn't they? They'll be pissed. Go, get in! Chocolate, and all the chocolate was going to put weight on, oh no. But hold on, what about if the red wine side tortured their prisoners and then you found that they released videos of the red wine army weeing on members of the chocolate army? Would you not then feel a bit ashamed?
Like, do you think of this stuff in the middle of the night and then save it?
I make it up in the moment.
As you go.
Incredible gift.
Brilliant.
It's paying the bills.
When Russell's in these situations where he's improvising and freestyling in conversations, it's like a dance and he's leading the dance. You'll notice that he's totally present in those moments. It's almost like he's in a flow state. The ability to be so elastic and to be able to sway and undulate so effortlessly through any situation is something to be truly admired. And whilst it has to be a natural born talent because he's just so sharp, and I think that he has an amazing mind, he also has a performance art background. He can do Shakespearean spoken word off the bat, and I'm going to show you a video now that's from an interview that he did about a movie called The Tempest. The Tempest is originally a Shakespearean playwright, and Russell Brand played one of the characters in that movie. This is him doing an off-the-cuff little bit of spoken word poetry. Unplanned, unwritten.
When first regarding the storm, it's impossible not to notice its phenomenal power and to feel weak, impotent, to be cowed by the power of the storm, the way the elements are commanded, this requiem of sweet nature, the potency to see the elements in alignment, clashing against each other, the ultimate paradox, this symphony, yet this jarring, ugly, dissonant sound and fury. But when first regarding the storm, it's easy to be afeared, to think, oh my God, I'm nothing, I'm worthless, I have no power in the face of this potency. And yet within us all, the storm rages. Whilst being tossed about on the endless ocean of existence, one feels powerless, but the storm is within us all. We can all harness the storm. We are all carbon, water, fire, life. Elementally, the storm is within and without. The storm is a constant, so whilst it reduces us to absolute nothing, whilst it makes us particular, makes us so tiny as to be redundant, it is also a reminder that nothing is more powerful than us.
When I watch him, as entertaining as he is, I view it as almost a performing art when he's engaged in these conversations and he's just thinking on the cuff and just being so quick-witted and just being himself. And for somebody like myself, who's fascinated by people who have a sophisticated grasp on the English language, as well as also being interested in poetry and spoken word poetry and literature, watching Russell Brand do what he does is like somebody who loves basketball watching LeBron James. He's just got it all. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked that video and you haven't already checked it out, I did a video breaking down exactly how Russell Brand destroyed a bunch of disrespectful MSNBC hosts. So click that link if you haven't checked it out already. Until next time, guys, I'm Jake, and this has been Rattlesnake TV.